he knew Sylvia Plath, and he won't speak of her because he feels that to do so would be bringing bad karma, because he wasn't helpful when she ended up killing herself. But when I met him, he was the only poet I ever met that I felt I was among a holy man. He's a very cool guy. So I borrowed a little bit of a line from him, and so when you borrow from someone, you have to give them back credit. And I actually sent him this poem. That's another story I can tell everyone, is that whenever I do a poetry session and I'm discussing the work of a poet, I like, if they're alive, to write to them or to call them up. And some of them call me back. I mean, these are poet laureates in the United States. They actually call me back. And so I tell my group, well, this is what Merwin said, or this is what so-and-so Billy Collins said. And I said, well, the first thing I said to them is, I'm not stalking you. And they're like, Laurie, why did you lie to these people? So this is called Secrets. A pile of windfalled apples becomes a fox, lying nose and tail, a sentinel for memory, as the late sun turns its fur into rusty barbed wire. We've traveled for days. I've told you before about these mountain roads, about the man who lived in a shack, who borrowed water, fried me a plate of catfish for my Halloween treat. I called him Uncle Charlie, but he wasn't any relation of mine. The night we got caught swimming, there was another who wore a hood, leafy and torn, who watched with particular interest while I wrung out my undershirt, scrubbed my skin pink before we sat down to supper, and I was forced to eat what was good enough for them. What I thought I had left, I kept finding again, a pile of hoods in our attic, left behind by the man and bleached white as bones. Clippings of the pineys and the baby who had been stolen. We find a fox lying nose to tail, a sentinel for memory. Sun glinting its fur rusty, and I tell you with lips bruised like windfalled apples. I can't stay here. Me with my old coat mended so neatly, where I had sewn secrets into its pockets. Me and my little girl's voice who tells you a story with lips that are only slightly torn.